This is Wired's 50 most asked questions.
It's about Lord of the Rings of Power.
Let's begin. How do the Rings of Power work?
With magic.
They're not battery powered.
Well, one has nunchucks, the other one has a bow staff.
We're in trouble already.
They can enhance kind of the power that one already has, but they can also corrupt. It's a double-edged sword, a ring of power. Which Middle-earth character are you? I am Galadriel, who is elf from Valinor, one of the oldest elves in Middle-earth, older than the moon.
I play Queen Regent Midiel, and she is the leader of the island kingdom of Numenor.
I am Durin.
I'm a sailor on the island of Numenor called Isildur.
I'm Elendil, the Tall.
I am Gil-galad, king of the elves, and, giver of Numenor. Not me particularly, we did.
Who is Galadriel in The Lord of the Rings?
She's a very old, powerful mythical elf, and I am playing her in The Rings of Power.
Who has the Rings of Power?
Which ones? Ooh, didn't see that coming, did you?
Okay, how many?
There's like 19.
Is there?
You need to read the books. I get a bunch. Brimborg gets one.
I think she's going to get one.
And the bad guy gets one.
Spoiler alert.
How old is Sauron?
Old.
Thousands and thousands of years old.
Since the beginning of time, basically.
Where was the Rings of Power filmed?
Detroit. New Zealand.
In and around Auckland and some location stuff in the South Island.
If you were lucky enough.
Does Middle-earth have bees? Yes.
I imagine the hobbits and the half-orcs
There
were
are
like a bit of
flowers.
honey.
So let's say there are bees.
Yeah, but the bees are enormous.
How big are dwarves and half-orcs? I think we're 4 foot and a half.
What's shorter?
About a foot
Who's
shorter.
Harfoot would be smaller.
Half foot shorter.
Yeah.
Half-foot are smaller.
That sounds like a dwarf opinion. Back if they were
We're much
saying it.
taller than the hobbit.
My stool is lower than everyone else's on this table, so I feel a little bit like a half-foot and a dwarf here.
Are we
Most
taller than you?
Dominant. No.
I think we are.
No. We're
I reckon
equivalent at best.
Elendil the Tall.
Well, I mean, he, had joint problems.
Is Mordor Lord of the Rings?
So Mordor is where Sauron resides during the Third Age, full of fire and darkness.
I mean, if you think about it, Brimborg is a lord, and he makes the ring, so in my opinion, he is the Lord of the Rings.
How many kingdoms in Middle-earth Second Age?
Okay, let's list them.
Lindon.
Kingdom of Numenor.
Yes.
Kingdom of
Khazad-dûm.
Eregion.
What, is Eregion a kingdom?
Good question.
I mean, I'm going with Mordor.
Yeah, the orcs, yeah. So
That's
6.
6, yeah.
Who is Valar?
It should be who are the Valar.
Like Mount Olympus, you've got Zeus, which would be Luvatar, and beneath him are the kind of demigods, which are the Valar.
Sort of like angels,
Yeah.
right?
What is an orc?
A baddie.
Well, he originally was an elf.
A fallen elf.
All goes back to the elves.
Who is Elrond in Lord of the Rings?
He's related to me, Isildur.
He's a half-elf who chose to be an elf instead of a human.
Could you see the judgment in the pure elf there about the half elf? I felt it.
How many Lord of the Rings shows are there? Just one.
I mean, there's ours. There could be
That's
others.
the only show.
A few cartoons, there's some films,
Some games.
some radio plays.
What's a Harfoot?
It's a small person.
They're a prototype of a hobbit.
Yeah, like a predecessor.
They're emotional, kind, and brave.
Who directed the Lord of the Rings shows?
We have 3 incredible directors.
J.A. Bayona.
Wayne Yip.
And Charlotte Brandstrom.
Marvellous.
Who is Melkor?
The origin of evil.
Or the dragon in Neverending Story? Oh, no, that's Falkor.
Is Hobbit Lord of the Rings?
I would say yes to that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the original book that J.R.R. Tolkien wrote.
The Book of the Hobbit is set before the Lord of the Rings, but the ring is in the Hobbit.
Is in the Hobbit.
Can there only be one Lord for all rings? Ooh.
Yes.
Well, I'd say the baddie thinks so.
Yeah, and I would agree with him.
Sauron wants to be the Lord of the Rings.
He made one to make himself
The Lord of the Rings.
but he's lost it.
How small are elves? Very small.
That's a bit passive-aggressive. How small are elves?
That is a
small
big
are
Ouch.
step. How grand are elves, I'll accept.
Does the ring give you powers?
Yeah.
Superpowers. You can fly. I'm joking.
Are there wars and battles in Lord of the Rings of Power?
Yes.
Yes.
What are the races of Middle-earth?
Elves,
Dwarves,
And
humans,
Numenorians, who are humans but
special humans.
Yeah.
Superhumans.
the Harfoots,
Yep.
goblins,
Balrogs.
Not really a race, though, are they?
Imagine if we're all wrong on these questions.
Yeah.
We're just
The
giving.
humiliation.
We've enjoyed being in the show.
How long is the second age? 3,000 years?
It's
2,000
I think
years.
it's almost 4,000 years.
Long, but very adventurous.
Who wrote The Lord of the Rings?
3, 2, 1.
J.R.R.
Tolkien.
Jur Tolkien.
Where does Lord of the Rings take place? It takes place in Middle-earth, which is part of Arda.
Why is Sauron mad?
I like that
really
question.
existential
Why is he
question.
mad? He's power hungry. He wants it all for himself.
He's after absolute power.
But he doesn't think he's mad. That's what's scary.
Well, we never do.
When does Lord of the Rings take place? Well, there's a first, second, and third age.
The Lord of the Rings takes place in the Third Age, which is thousands of years after our show.
Where's Middle-earth?
In Arda.
In Arda.
Bang in the middle of the road.
Succinctly put.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Lord of the Rings of Power, who arrives in Middle-earth via comet?
A stranger.
Strange man.
I mean,
Say-
Stranger, yeah.
yeah, what kind of
Stranger.
answer is that? The nobody.
The nobody.
What source of power did Kell Brimborg use to create the Rings of Power?
Mithril.
Thank you.
He built a forge as hot as dragon's breath and as bright as a star.
Are Lord of the Rings elves immortal?
Yes.
They are.
However, it's not quite as simple as they live forever, because they sometimes die and then they go to the halls of Mandos where they have to wait a bit and then they come back into a new body. Is that correct? Or is it the same body? That
I don't know. I stopped listening halfway through.
Glorfindel came back.
Are there wizards in the Rings of Power?
Watch and see. Wait and see.
What Middle-earth race are you?
You get this wrong.
I am a dwarf.
We're Numenorians.
Proud Numenorians.
Only because the elves gave him the place, but they get really upset about it. It's not a big deal.
And
It's not a big deal.
Ben's a small elf. How much did the kings of Numenor know about the Rings of Power?
Zip.
I don't think they knew anything
Yeah.
about them until Pharazôn decides he was more powerful than everyone else.
And then they ultimately became Nazgul, so it wasn't a good ending.
When is the second age?
After the first.
And before the third.
Thanks.
What is Middle-earth made of?
Dirt.
No, in the middle of.
I got the question wrong.
You
What
can't
is
even
Middle-earth
read.
made of?
The ocean. Surrounded by the sundering seas.
But what's to the east of it, all the way to the east? Because I don't think it's surrounded. I don't think it's an island, is it?
The ocean.
It is
water.
ocean again.
Everything's
It's
an
in the,
island
it's
when
in
you
the middle
zoom
of
out
water.
far enough.
It's in the middle of water.
What is the new Lord of the Rings about? It's about the Rings of Power.
It's the quintessential battle between good and evil. Help us.
Also about different groups coming together for a common cause. The common cause of defeating evil. I like the idea of that.
Who is the most powerful person in the Lord of the Rings universe?
Don't jump too quickly, guys.
Elendil.
I think you have to watch the show to see that one.
What is Sauron doing in the second age?
Being naughty.
Yeah, devious.
Growing.
Yes.
Did the elves blame Celebrimbor for making the Rings of Power?
I mean, they feel conflicted about it. He's so quickly punished for doing it that I think casting blame at that point is pretty ruthless.
How big is Middle-earth?
It's pretty vast.
Huge.
Take you a long time on a horse to travel across.
Who are the bad guys in Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power? You could make the case that the orcs in particular are the bad guys, but it's a conflicted issue.
Okay, are elves and humans friends? It's complicated.
Definitely on the island of Numenor, there's a schism happening.
If you're a Numenorian, you might not be too keen on an elf, because they live forever and we don't, and we're a bit jealous of that fact.
Who is Elendil?
Me, I'm Elendil.
Elendil is the father of Isildur and founder of the Kingdom of Gondor.
Why were the Rings of Power created?
To match an outfit.
Well, they were created by Sauron.
To control Middle-earth to one entity.
Is that correct?
No, he only created the one to control those rings.
Oh, but why were the Rings of Power created?
To save Middle-earth, basically.
To kind of save the elves.
What are the Misty Mountains? Where the dwarves live.
Where do the elves live?
In the woods.
Who is Isildur? He is Elendil's son.
Me. I'm Isildur.
Potentially a problem, child.
Why is it called Middle-earth?
It was something that Tolkien was playing with around about the Middle Ages idea, wasn't
Yeah.
it? That somehow it gives it a time that is fantastical and yet rooted in some sort of historical reality.
We made it through.
50 questions.
Yeah.
How do you think we did?
Fine.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was really good.
I love talking Tolkien, and you guys are incredibly fun and really good in the show.
I mean, we could have stayed here for hours.
We probably got
to answer them.
30%.
I'm sure as a cast we answered all of them beautifully.
Thanks for watching.